everybody, this is Bonnie from Bonnie's Creative Place, and I'm glad you're here with me today. I am going to be showing you how to make this double pocket card. These have been out for a while. I've seen several different people do them. I don't know who originally created it or anything. I've just saw the pattern on Pinterest, and I've just been watching different videos of different people that done them. So I did my own little spin on them because I changed a few things up. But I really like it, and I'm going to have fun with this. But I used the Mix Floral set. I used some old tulip paper that I had, and then I made a little tag, or you could use this. It could be a bookmark if you want to give it to them as a bookmark, and you could sign the back of it. Now, because I did use blends, this did bleed through, so I didn't think about that when I did it. But if you wanted to, you could put another layer over top of this, and then you wouldn't see it. So that could be a little tag to write, on it, or you could give it away. You could write on the back, because my tulips are upside down on the back, but if you put a piece of paper here, you won't even know it, a white piece, and then it would be hidden. But what I did in this one pocket, I put a package of flowers, sunflower seeds. Well, these are daisy seeds, and then you could send this off to somebody because spring is here. So I want to show you how I made this fun little card. I am going to be doing it in a different sheet of paper than what I did before. Now, I've got my little template here that I have from all the other, and I may be referring to it a few times. And also a couple things I'm doing different is I wanted to use this paper. This is what I wanted to use, like where I did the tulip. But I did not have any more of it, because again, this has been one of my favorite packs. If you've been watching all my videos here, I have been using this pack like crazy with this little, it comes with the paper and it comes with all these embellishments and stuff. And I've been using this. This is all I got left. I got this sheet that wasn't big enough, and then this full sheet, and then I just have all these little scraps that I've been trying to use up. So what I did was I took a different sheet of paper, and then I'm cutting this out, and I'm going to put it over top of it, and I'll explain that as we go. Okay, so the first thing you need is now you can use regular cardstock, which is 8.5 by 11, or you can use designer series paper, which is what I'm choosing to use. And it's a good way to use up some of your designer series paper is by this. So the piece is 8.5 by 11. So you cut a piece down, and then you're going to get your scoring tool out here. Now the piece that you want on top, you want it facing down. Now if it was a directional piece, like say that I wanted this on top, this design on top, I'd want to face it down, but I'd also want to make sure it's going in the right direction. So I would face it down, and see how it's upside down but down? Because this piece, when it flips up, you want it to be in the right direction. But I want this piece, so it doesn't matter because it's not a directional piece of paper. So I am just going to go ahead and leave it down. It doesn't matter which way it goes. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score. You're going to score at 4 1/4 this way. And you don't have to push hard for designer series paper, remember. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score at 5 1/2 this way. Okay, so now we have this. Now we're going to go, and we got to get our ruler. Move a few things out of my way here. Get our ruler and get our pencil. Here it is. Now, how I'm going to describe this to you, this is block A, block B, block C, and block D. Okay, so in block A, up here, you're going to go ahead and you're going to, I have to turn this so I can move it this way. You're going to go ahead and you're going to take your ruler, line it up, and you're going to mark at the 3-inch line, like that. And then I'm going to turn it so that it's upside down so I can see it this way. And I'm going to put my 3 right on the edge there of my ruler, and then I'm going to put a mark right here. Okay, so 3 down and 3 across. So that's where my 2 marks are. Now we're going to get the scoring tool back out again. And we're going to put this on here, and we're going to put it on the 3 score marks, or 2 score marks that we have. We're going to put it right on the score line, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to score it back and forth. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to score on these score lines. So we're going to score once this way first. And it's a little easier with the Designer Series paper than it is with the... here's my bone folder. I'm hiding it. Okay. And then we are going to take it and we're going to score it this way. Here it is. Kind of line it up a little bit before you... Don't have to be perfect, but you kind of want it, you know, the best straight as you can. Anyways. And up towards the edge. There we go. We're going to line it, score it across. Okay. So then we're going to take and we're going to score this one that we scored. And we're going to score it down. We're going to score it across like that. Now we're going to do some cutting. You can use your trimmer or you can use your scissors or whatever you want to do. I'm going to show you it on the cutter. But that other one I did with scissors, so I just thought I would do it different. So we're going to line this 4 1/4 score mark back up here. We're going to take our scissor or our cutting tool, and remember it's the black one. The gray one is the scoring tool, and we're going to cut up to that other score mark that is right here, right there. So we cut up to it. Now we're going to turn and we're going to put the 5 1/2 inch one back in, and we're going to cut up to, let me make sure I'm in there in the 5 1/2 inch mark, and we're going to cut over, I don't know why it keeps catching right there. We're going to cut over to that mark. Okay, now if you have a little piece hanging there like I do, oh, it came off, but if it didn't, you could just snip it with your scissors. Save this piece for another card or whatever you would like, and then we are going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this down. Just need a little bit of adhesive in here, so we're going to adhere that one down. Now with this corner here, we're going to take this, the edge of this, and we're going to line it up right here with the edge of this score mark. This can be a little tricky, but one thing is paper can be manipulated if you just keep bending it and scoring it a little bit. There we go. And then we're just going to press it down and then reinforce it like this. And I am also going to adhere this piece down. Okay. And so now we got that piece down. So now it looks like this, right? So this is what we originally had before we cut this off, okay? Now I'm going to show you on the sample a way that I've seen some people do it, so that if you want to try that, you can do that. They did everything, but they didn't cut this off. What we're going to do is we're going to take A and we're going to put it on top of B. And then we're going to bring D, which is down here, and we're going to bring it up. Now some people left C on there and spun it around and attached it to the back, or they could have turned this into a card base. I did not do that. I chose to cut it off. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to take A, we're going to put it on top of B, and then we are going to bring up and we're going to have our D here. But before I do all that, remember how I said I wanted my paper differently? And I do. So I'm going to go and take, because I cut this, and how I did this was I took my old one here, nothing fancy. Actually, I took this one, and I put it down like this. And I just went ahead and I put a tick mark right there, which actually is still there. And I have a tick mark up here, which is still there. And then I just cut, like I did, cut from line to line. And I had my little edge there. Well, then I got thinking, I want this to match. So I want this piece to be up here. And I wasn't sure how this was going to look. Like I said, I'm just doing this. I haven't done this before. So I think that'll look really good if I stick that right over top of that right there. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get some liquid glue. And I'm going to put glue on this because I want to make sure I get to the corners of it. Because I don't want, you know, any of the corners picking up on the card. The edges. Okay. I'm going to bring in a mat here. And also, this gives you some wiggle room to put it down with. And we're going to line this right up in the corner. And right here. So this just goes to let you know, one, if you do make a mistake on what way you put your card up, you can still, you still have time to save it. Because you could do this to it. Or if you wanted a different pattern, but like I said, didn't have enough, then you can do this to it. Now we're going to close this over, but I want to seal it up a little bit before I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive along here and a little bit of adhesive along here. So that way I still have my pocket, but yeah, I'm closing up the ends. Now, I probably did not need to put adhesive along here on this bottom part because really this is coming up and nothing should be able to fall out of it anyways. But I did want a piece over here on the side. Now, this is another place I should tell you. When I close this all up, this piece was right here was the same as this piece. I wanted it a little bit different. I wanted it different, like a contrast in there. So I took another piece of the peach pie and I just, this is a 1/2 inch. Let me double check. 1.5 inches. Let me see if I can see it where I stopped. Yeah, it's an 1.5 inch piece, and I just made sure it was longer than my card. And I just put it down there. You could stamp on it. You could decorate it up more if you wanted to. And then I just used scissors and I cut it off. Well, because I am going to be, I put that piece there. And then, yes, this piece does match it. But I am planning on putting this piece down. And I wanted to leave just a little bit of a border on it. And I think it's going to look fine like that. So I'm not going to worry about putting a piece in there. Now, because by the time you put your envelope and stuff in there, this will be far enough apart that I think it'll look good. So now let's put this piece down, and I'm going to use the liquid glue again because I want to make sure, like I said, I get up here in these corners. And when you're always adding something on top of something like this, you want to use liquid glue because it does give you a little bit of wiggle room. And while I'm sticking this down, I would like if you guys could like, comment, share my videos. That shows so much support because that helps me so much that you would not believe it. So if you could do that, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, so now I got that down. And then we're just going to put some adhesive. Let's get this back up here. We're going to put some right here. And then we are going to put some all along this side. Right there. Okay. And if you have any that hung off, just tuck it in. Now we're going to take this, we're going to line it right up even to the side right there. And then we're going to just push this down. So it's all nice down there, and it looks really, really cute. This looks like it feels like it wants to go over a little bit more. There we go. And so now let's decorate it. So we're going to go ahead, and I have my envelope here, or this is not my envelope, my tag, and this is 2 inches by 4 1/4. I got glue on me, and I'm sticking it everywhere. And we're going to corner round the ends like that. I only did the top piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dig in this little fun stuff here, because now we're going to decorate this card. I have no clue what we're going to do. I just thought this would be fun. I thought this seed packet went wonderful with all the different garden tools and everything. Ribbon. Don't have any crystal coral, which I was hoping that I had, but apparently I do not have any. And then I have to get the bunnies. I forgot. I have to get the bunny. And then I'm going to get the black ink. Stamp this up. I'm going to stamp it down right there. And then, now we're going to go ahead, and here is where you could put, this was blue on the back, so I'm not going to worry about it, I'm going to leave it, but you could put a white piece of cardstock if you wanted to write your greeting there, or you could write your greeting on the back of this one, or right here you could write it. It depends on what you want this to be considered. And then you take your little seed packet and you put it in there. It could be any, I just went and got flowers, but you could do, if you know you have a friend that does a vegetable garden, whatever, you could add another greeting if you want, but I think this is just a cute little way to give some spring seeds and flowers and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, everybody. Bye-bye.